Hi everyone, and welcome back to this month's webinar. Today we're going to focus on remedies and treatments in the app. We're going to touch on a few other things as well. We also asked for questions to be given in to us ahead of today because this is a pre-recorded session. So we will get to those at the end. So we're just going to get straight into it. We hope this won't be too long. Hopefully within 20-30 minutes, we won't keep you too long. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Hopefully you all can see it. So again, very welcome. My own name is Katie Shanahan and I'm Content Marketing Exec here in Herdwatch. And I'm joined by Chris Goode, who is the Tech Support Lead. So I suppose just a brief breakdown of what we're going to be covering. It'll mainly be remedies and treatments in the app, like we said. We're going to go show you how to create a remedy purchase, how to carry out a treatment, the new quick action buttons, tracking things like withdrawals. A lot of people want to give treatments to cattle moved out of their herd. So we'll show you how to do those as well. And also importantly, the reports for your inspections. We'll also briefly cover feed records and putting those into the app. And also we'll touch on registering calves and the new DNA process there. So just to give you a brief breakdown and background on Herdwatch, we have over 21,000 members. We have over 2.3 million cattle in the app, 2.9 million calf births recorded, over 1.7 million sheep managed on the app, and over 750,000 acres managed on the Herdwatch app as well. And I suppose this is our 10th year. We're 10 years old in 2024. So it's been a long but a great journey for the company. So I suppose since Herdwatch was launched in 2014, we've helped over 21,000 members with their herd performance and farm compliance. So like I said, 10 years old now this year. So what initially would have been Flock Watch is now sheep and goats. The new grass and crops solution was introduced last year, and now Herdwatch, which would have been the cattle side of things, is now known as cattle and dairy, but all under the Herdwatch umbrella. So I suppose, why should you record your treatments in Herdwatch? So it is full board BIA compliance. You can record them on the spot. So as Herdwatch works offline, all your remedy purchases and usages can be recorded on the spot as they happen. It's a stock tracker also, so it'll help you keep track of how much remedy you have used, so you know what's in your cabinet at all times. It'll replace the blue book for your board BIA, and also it'll help you in your red tractor audit. So it's fully compliant with board BIA and the Department of Agriculture, and also fully compliant for your red tractor audit. So once your remedy purchases, remedy usage and feed purchase in the Herdwatch app, there's no need to write them into any book. It also helps you to capture, store and retrieve data. So Herdwatch comes fully stocked with over 800 remedies approved. So they're all listed in the app, but it also gives you a chance to add in any treatments or remedies that mightn't necessarily be listed there. So I'm now going to pass you over to Chris. He's just going to go briefly through the things we shared there at the start, and then we kind of get back into the Q&A of the kind of the most asked questions we get on a day-to-day basis, and then also a selection that you put in online on social media and things during the week. So I'm just going to get this up there now.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to run through a few of the different areas in regards to your medicine management and how Herdwatch can help you with recording your medicines on the farm, and then say tracking your withdrawals and how you can generate all your treatments and your purchases that you put into the app onto your reports. So I'll be also covering a little bit on the feed purchase and the calf registration as well. So as you all know, this is your home screen of your Herdwatch app. So your quick actions you have here at the bottom of the screen, where you can select to do your remedy purchase, your cattle treatment. But if you're looking to see an overview of what you've done in the app previously, or to review what work you've done, if you click into the compliance section and into remedies and treatments, it gives you a full overview of your medicine management. So you have all your purchases in your cabinet, your treatment records here. And then from that, you can check your withdrawals, currently as to what animals are in withdrawals based on the treatments that you've done. And then we have a summary page, which I'll come back to later in the demo. So if you're on your home screen and you're after buying a medicine or you're after getting a treatment off your vet, you can click on Remedy Purchase. So on your mobile, you have the option to scan. So you can scan the barcode. And if we have the barcode on our system, it'll bring up the purchase on your device. If not, you can search it here in the search bar, or you can scroll through the list. So if I scroll down to my list here, okay, I'm going to pick Albex. So if I purchased this treatment previously, it'll pop up with this little pop-up asking, do I want to copy some information from the previous purchase, like the withdrawals or the treatment reason or the dose rate. So if I'm happy enough, I can press yes. So depending on your purchase date, it'll always default to today's date. But if I bought it last Friday, I can move the date back by selecting on the date option here. So your unit of measure, it allows you to change it, gives you a full option in the list here. So if you're buying boluses, you can change it to that. Or if you bought a dose or you'll be able to change it to litres if it is in litres. So I can just put in my quantity purchase. So for the purpose of the demo, I'll just put in that about 100 ml. And I was supplied by a local vet. Now, in the event that the supplier is not in the list, you can press the plus sign and change and add an additional supplier. So whether it be a vet or a farm goods or supplier, and just ask you to fill in a few of the details here. And once you press save, that supplier will be available for use on future purchases. So I have my supplier selected. So my dose per animal, because I entered it on my previous purchase, it'll automatically bring it up because I selected that option. But if I want to change it, I can change it here to 5 ml or 6 ml, whichever I want to change to. So I leave it at 4 ml. I can add in a treatment reason. So we have a full list of all different types of treatment reasons. So if I put in the treatment reason at the purchase, when I go to do the treatment, that treatment reason will come across. But you can always change it on the treatment if it is different. So if we have the withdrawals info, there will be a banner that will show here that'll say input withdrawals. But for this treatment in particular, we don't have the withdrawal info. No, I'm not too sure the withdrawals itself on this, so I'm just going to put in a rough idea. So let's say 3 days for milk, say 10 days for meat. Okay. Now, if I'm going to use this treatment on sheep as well, I can press the toggle here. I can input sheep withdrawal as well onto the system. So if it was prescribed by your vet, you can select this option and add your vet as a prescribing vet. Now you may see this pop up. It might ask you if that's your main vet. So you can always set that as your main vet on your system. So important then that if we're doing our purchases that we do add in the batch number and the expiry. This will help us out in the long run when it comes to our reports from a cross compliance or a Board B or a red tractor inspection, that we're keeping on top of our batch numbers and our expiry. So if your treatment has a QR code, you can scan the QR code and that'll bring in the batch number and the expiry date. If not, you can input it here. So I'll just put in a fake batch number and I set my expiry date to the future. So I'm going to say it's going to expire a year from today. So when I'm happy now, I have those details filled in. You have a few more optional fields here. So if you want to put in the cost or who bought it or upload an image, you can. There is also the option for quantity returned or spilled. So if it's a case that you got a treatment and you end up returning some of it to the vets or it's spilled on the farm, you can edit your purchase at a later date and input how many mils were spilled or what was returned. So when I'm happy with what I've entered on my purchase, I can just press save and that purchase goes into my cabinet. So I can look at an overview as to what details I put in, the withdrawals, and all the information. So when it comes to the treatment then, you can press directly from your purchase and go plus sign, use this remedy, or else if you're on your home screen and you have this already added into your cabinet and you're going back a few days later and you're putting in your treatment, you can go plus sign and cattle treat, or you can press cattle treatment there. And you have two options. So I'll come back to the treatment only option in a few minutes, but for now I'm going to select the remedy from the cabinet. So when I press remedy from the cabinet, I can select my Albex here. Now, if it's a case I'm giving 2 treatments at the one time, you can select multiple treatments and follow through the steps as normal, and it'll apply the 2 treatments to the animals at the one time. So for the Albex, I have that selected, press next. So my treatment date is today, or if I did the treatment last Saturday, I can backdate it. So I'll just go with today's date for now. So your date administrator is filled in, so the course of your treatment. So if you're given a course of an antibiotic or for a number of days, you can change your course, and the app then would automatically apply the course to the animal over the, say, 2 or 3 days that you select, and that'll extend the withdrawal period on the animal's profile. So I can select who is administered by, so I'll go with Owen. And if Owen's the main operator on the farm, I can set Owen as the main operator. So this will help if you're doing future treatments or future tasks in the app, that you're after setting your main vet and you're after setting your main operator. So the fact that I didn't select a treatment reason, it doesn't come across into my cattle treatment. My dose rate will automatically come across my purchase. My withdrawals will come across my purchase, at the batch number as well. So you have optional fields here where you can put in the treatment result, whether it was successful or it failed. You have the option here again for your quantity returned or spilled, or if you're giving it to a group of animals, you can put in a group description here before you select your group. So in the event that it was a vet call out, you have the option, you can select vet call out here. You can put in your cost again, or if it's a treatment to legs or quarters, you can select the quarter and legs here by turning on the toggle on the treatment. So when I'm happy with my treatment details, I can just press next, and it brings me to my animal selection list. So on my animal selection list, I have a few different ways I can apply it to animals, okay? So I can search with a tag number. So if I go one of my tag numbers here, I can select it. I can scroll down to my list and I know, okay, I'm giving it to these animals here. If I have an EID reader, my animals have EID tags, I can connect my EID reader on my device on your phone and scan the tags with the EID reader. Or else if you've set up groups in the past of your different groups of animals on the farm, I can click into my group and select all the animals in that group if I'm happy that I'm dosing all those animals. Now we also have the option here for the lists. So the lists are pre-populated lists created by Herdwatch based on the information on your animal's profile. So you're able to see here like animals that you might have set that you want to cull, 0 to 6 months, different age groups, 24 months plus. You'll also have beef animals, bought-in animals. You have a whole range of different groups created by Herdwatch here that you're able to find animals easily. So if I'm happy now that I've selected all my animals and I want to just kind of review what animals I've selected, I can press animals selected, check over my tag numbers, and if I know, okay, I'm not putting that animal in by mistake, I can deselect them and save. And that's my treatment record created. So from that treatment record, we can see now that the withdrawals has gone against them animals. So now there's a withdrawal on these animals until the 1st of March. So on your overview page, if you click into withdrawals, now we can see there's 4 cows, 4 animals currently in milk withdrawal, and that's their treatment date there. And then we're able to see our number of animals in meat withdrawal have gone up, and we're able to track it here. So it's a handy feature for tracking withdrawals in your farm if you're selling cattle or selling animals, that you're able to go in here if you have your treatments recorded and see what's currently in withdrawal on the farm. So going back to the treatments there, so if you're recording a treatment and you've seen this option here for treatment only, this is an option where you can select the medicine from the cabinet directly. So if I go back and I click on the Albex, I can copy the information from the previous purchase, but you're going directly into your treatment rather than your purchase. So here I can put in my information on what I'm treating the animals. Most of my information has come across from the purchase in this regardless, but when I'm happy enough with what I've entered, I can just press next, select the animals I'm treating, and press save. So if you want to create the purchase record at this point, it'll give you an option, whereas if I press no, on my treatment, it'll give me an option. You might see this little orange triangle here, where I can upload the docket of the purchase docket. So rather than having to input the purchase, you can just upload a picture of your docket against the treatment. So that's an option for you when it comes to treating your animals. So withdrawal tracker, I've gone through it. What I'll do is I'll just show you how doing treatments in sheep and goats then as well. It's the same principle, but for sheep and goats, you have two options in regards to applying the treatment. So if I switch to sheep and goats here quickly, so if I go sheep treatment, and I have my two options here again from cabinet or treatment only. But when I select what treatment I want to use, I have the option here to link to animals or just give a general note. So if you select link to animals, it'll give you an option with your EID reader to connect and to select the animals if you're running through the race, or else you have an option to go in and select animals from different groups. But you do have the option for general notes where you can just put in a general note on the bottom as to how many sheep you are dosing. And if you want to give a description as to what you are dosing, whether it be a group of lambs or a group of ewes, this can be filled in here. So the same principle apply for both cattle and dairy and sheep and goats in regards to doing your treatment purchase, your medicine purchase and your treatment. And so that's where it may differ with sheep and goats. So once you have your information in the app, I'll go back here to cattle and dairy. So you may have seen here in our overview of your medicines, there's a summary option. So the summary option will give you kind of a list of medicines that you've inputted, and if there's any information missing against them. So if I click into this Betamax, it says, okay, there's a missing withdrawal. So if I click in here, okay, I can see how many previous treatments I've done of Betamax and how many purchases I've done. So what I can do here is I can press update withdrawal. And if I put in a withdrawal for this testing here, I'll just put in 2-day milk withdrawal and say a 10-day meat again, just for the demo. If I press update, that'll update the withdrawal on any of the treatments or purchases here. So it helps you if you're trying to clean up your reports prior to the audit. So that's the option with our summary page here. Now going back to the withdrawals, if you have animals in withdrawals, it'll also show on your watch board. So you can see here animals in withdrawal. So it's another way you can easily find the animals that are currently in withdrawal in the herd. So if I'm happy now with my medicines I'm after inputting, and I have a quality assurance audit coming around or a red tractor inspection or say department inspection, and I want to run the reports. To find your reports on the app, click into management and the report section is here. So this may differ on the region that you're in and using Herdwatch, but for purpose of the audit, we're using an Irish herd. So Board B audit will be the one we'd select here. And you can see it'll give us a breakdown of all the reports that are required for that audit. So if I just want to run the remedy usage report, I can click into remedy usage, put in the date parameters and select run. And then within a few moments, that'll be processed in our system and emailed over to the email address you have on your account. Now, if it is an inspection, so if it's a red tractor audit or a Board B audit, you can press generate all reports and put in your date parameters. So for your Board B, it'll be 18 months, or for your red tractor, it could be 12 months. So you can just put in your date parameters here. So I'll put it in as far as 1st of February 2023 to date. Press OK, generate. And then that'll send a request and we'll send the email of all the reports over to you. So just a handy way of getting your reports. Now you have a full list of all your reports available in Herdwatch here. So a breakdown between market information, weight reports, breeding, scoring reports, herd and animal reports, and then you have the option for all reports. So if you go into all reports, there's 42 reports available on the Herdwatch app. So that's kind of in regards to your medicines and generating your reports. Another record that you might be recording for your compliance audits or your quality assurance will be feed purchase. So I said I just run through a quick demo as to how to record a feed purchase. So if you press the plus sign, we have the feed purchase option here. So you can click on feed purchase and put in your purchase date. So under the description, we have a number of different types of feed that's available. So ration nuts, your straights, so barley, oats, your fodder, hay and silage, roots and milk replacer. And if it's another type of feed that you are feeding on the farm, you can select other here at the bottom. So for the purpose, I'll just go for ration. So I know I bought two ton. I'm just putting 2 there and I select my unit. I can go ton. You can see here in the unit page, we have all different options in regards to bags, gallons, kg, litres, round bales, square bales, large square bales. There's a good few options there available. So then I can select my supplier. So I bought feed off Grennan's. And then you have the option to put in your batch number of your feed or your invoice number. So I'll just put in a fake number here. So if I know the cost, I can input the cost and who went and purchased it. So if you want to take a picture of the feed when you bought it, you can upload the image as well. Or if you have any notes in regards to the feed, you can add it here. So you can press next. It will allow you to select it against animals if you want. So if you know you're buying a group or feed for a group of animals in particular, if you're fattening them, or if you're buying dairy nuts, you can put it against the animals if you want. If not, you can just press save, and that's your feed purchase recorded. Now, if you want to check the overview of your feeds that you bought, you have the option compliance and feed purchases for a full overview of every feed. Just one thing to note, if you are doing a Board B audit, if you're doing your feed purchases, just make sure to add in a feed purchase for a straw, because straw is technically considered a feed, despite you might be just using it for bedding. So you have the option on Herdwatch to record that when you're doing your feed. And if you just select it as a fodder, silage, hay and straw, that'll suffice for your audit. So that's when it comes to your feeds. I don't know if you want to do a few questions now, Katie, or we want to
do a few questions first and then we can move on. So questions, a few came in online. One of the first ones was, and it probably one of the main ones was, can I backdate purchases and treatments? So I think they mean like either cattle that have moved out of their herd or just treatments that they might have done a few months ago that they didn't put into the app. So both.
Okay, no problem. So if you're doing a purchase or a treatment and you don't get time to record it at that, say when you're at the crush, you can always backdate using Herdwatch. So if I'm doing my remedy purchase and I click on my medicine, when I'm at the purchase, I can just backdate as far as I want. So if you want to backdate to last year or the year before, completely up to yourself. You might want to backdate, say, to January of this year. I can just select the date. It's the very same thing with your treatment. You can backdate, but just be conscious that if you're backdating the treatment, make sure that your purchase is backdated as well. So if it's a case that you bought the medicine, some people might get confused that they might have two medicines in their cabinet. Just make sure you're using the treatment that you're backdating, that the purchase is backdated as well. So if you are doing a treatment, so I'll go back here to treatments. And if you're giving it to an animal that's moved out since, so if you're backdating treatment to cattle, say from early January, and they've since been sold, when you're doing your cattle treatment, so I'll just create a quick treatment here. The Alvex again. Actually, I won't. I'll go with a different treatment because it's purchase date. Go with the Alvex here. Okay, so I'm going to backdate my treatment to. This was bought on January of 23. So if I go my month, say I'll do November 23, okay. Put in all my details on my treatment. When I press next, if I go into the list option, there is a list called moved out. So down the bottom here, moved out list. It could be up the top, sorry, you can save it. Moved out. So any animals that have moved out of your herd will always show on this list. So you can just select the animals from this list, but just be conscious that the animal was in herd at the time of the treatment. So it'll tell you the moved out date below the animal. So that's where you go if you're backdated treatments and you want to record a treatment against an animal that is moved
out. Perfect. John also said that his remedy isn't on the list. So what should he do in that case?
Okay, so if you go to remedy purchase and you have the option here for remedy not on list, you can select then whether it's for cattle, sheep, or sheep and cattle, or the other animal option. So for sheep and cattle, I can type in the remedy name here, and you can put in a note then as well onto the purchase as to the name of it. And that's where you find it. And then when you go in to do your treatment, that medicine will show in your cabinet then ready for use.
Perfect, easy enough. So can you just show how to edit a treatment that someone carried out, say last week, that there might be an error in it and they just want to go in and edit it?
So if you click into compliance, remedies and treatments, and click into your treatment option. So if I'm looking at this treatment here, click into the treatment and I can select the three dots in the top right hand corner and select edit. And then it'll allow me to edit. Now, this treatment here was a sheep and goats, so I can switch sheep and goats and it'll allow me to edit it. So if you want to up the dose rate or change who administered it or any of the details, you can do that. Select next and save, and that'll update the record.
Is it through there you'd update if it was spilled or anything like that as well?
So you can update that on the treatment or on the purchase itself. Now as well, if you have a medicine and you might have 1 mil left over technically by your cabinet, but we know, say like technically you're not going to have 1 mil left in a bottle. So if there's any of the medicines that you want to clean up your cabinet, while it's in your cabinet here, I don't think we have any medicines here that's low in numbers, but that 19 mil, we can even use that as an example. 2 mil. If you're ready to purchase, you can just press the plus sign and mark as empty. And that's the same kind of thing as putting in, editing your purchase and putting in your quantity spilled. So you can mark it as empty and continue. And that'll remove it from what's currently in your cabinet. But if it's a case that you want to look at your cabinet at any point as to what medicines you might have used in the past, you can always press the three dots in the top right hand corner and include empties. And anything with the X beside it will be medicines that you've used in the past but are empty, so they're no longer displaying as active.
Perfect. Sean asked, are the reports quality assured?
Yep. So our reports are in line, say, for the requirements for 4B and your red tractor or your quality assurance. So any of the reports around there can be accepted by your auditor.
Perfect. And I suppose the last main one, Sarah asked, can I record treatments to other types of animals?
This is a common question we may get because, say, in regards to inspection, you might need to record a wormer for your dogs or cats on the farm, or else some people have some pets on their farm that they want to record a treatment for. So when you're doing your treatment purchase, you can go remedy not on list, and you have the option here for other animals. So you can put in the name of your treatment and save it, and then on your treatment, then it'll give a list of animals that are available. So if I put in wormer, and I can check, say that about tablets, about 1 tablet supplied by vets. Input any fields that are required, press save. So that's my wormer created for the dog. I can press the plus sign and use this medicine. And then you come down to your list and it'll give you animal type. So I can go dogs, cats, horse and donkey, goats, pigs, hens, other C notes. So I'll put a dog. I can say, right, I have 2 dogs. I can save that record. Administered by own, 1 tablet per animal. And say, wormer for dogs. Save. That'll save that record then as well.
Perfect. That was kind of the chunk of the main questions that were asked. If you feel like even if you have a question on something we didn't cover today, or you have something in your app that you would like to get answered, you can see there on the bottom right hand corner of the app screen, there is a message feature, and you can pop in a message there, or you can reply to anything we may send you out. But do get in touch if you have any other questions, and we'll get back to them as soon as possible. I don't know, Chris, if you want to touch, I know it's a busy calving season at the moment, and everyone is asking just about the calf DNA.
Let's go to the kit here.
So. Let's pull that up there again.
Yeah, so as Katie said, calf registration it's a busy time of year for calf registration. So we said, well, we'll cover a little bit on calf registration for yourselves today. So registering calves, as most of you might be aware, you have a few different options when it comes to doing it. So your calf registration quick action here on your home screen, or you can go plus sign and calf. So for calf registration, select the task, and select your gender, so male or female. So this can vary based on your region. So in Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland, we have the option for select next tag. So any of the tags that you've bought for your herd, will be able to receive the information on them from the ministry, and they'll be loaded on your app. It's only available in those regions as of now, but you have the option to scan your tag here, so you can use your phone and scan the barcode on the tag, or else you can type in the last 5 digits. So 2163 if I want, or else I can press select next tag. Now on the demo herd we have none available, but a full list of your tags will show here. So you can select the date of birth of the calf. So it's born on Sunday. Whether there's any calving difficulties, so there's normal calving, some assistance, considerable difficulty, or veterinary assistance required. So I go normal calving. So moving down, then you're onto your dam selection. So based on any of the previous breeding records you put on Herdwatch, so if you've recorded a serve or a scan and there's a sire against that dam, we'll be able to pull that information through onto the registration. So when I click on my dam list, I can see kind of calves here, or the cows that are due to calve. So once I select my dam, if there's a serve against that animal, it'll come across. So I'll just even select the other one here. So you can see here, this dam, the last serve against that cow was from this bull here, AA2163. But in the event that the sire was different, if it was your stock bull, there was a sire of this calf, you can click on your AI stock bull and select your stock bull from the list. Now, if it's the case that a bull that you've used in the past, you have the option for the legacy sires. If the bull since moved out, you can select it from the moved out list. Press this little arrow here, that'll give you all males and herds. So if it's the case that's a heifer that you're registering a calf to, and it was one of the bullocks that might have caught it, you can select males and herd and then select it from the list. So once you have your dam and sire selected, you can move down to some more optional fields. Now, just to note, any of the fields that have an orange heading with kind of an asterisk beside it, they're required fields for your registration, so make sure you fill them in. So you have your calf size and vigor as an option as well. So I can say the calf was an average size, it's very vigorous. If it's a pedigree calf that you're registering, you can put in your pedigree name at the registration. We can send it on to, in Ireland, we'll send it on to the department, and they'll notify your pedigree society in regards to registration. Managing, say, if in the event that the calf did die, you have the option here to select that it was stillborn or was aborted or was dead at birth. Now, this can vary on the region that you're in. So for Ireland, there are the options that we have. So aborted or dead at birth. In the UK, I know it varies. You might be registering your calves with the ministry directly, say if it had died, but there is an option to create the calving on Herdwatch and put, say, to record that calving record against the dam. In Northern Ireland and Scotland, it's much the same with registering the calves as it is here. So this calf is alive, so we don't need to fill that in. I can put in the genetic dam if it's an embryo transfer. Then I have calf weight. So the Herdwatch are taking assumed weight for the calf if you don't put in a weight here. So it's completely optional to yourself if you want to put in a calf weight. The assumed weight will be 40 kilos for a heifer calf, 45 for a bull calf. But if you want to put in a weight recording at calf registration, you can do. We'll generate the breed here based on the dam and sire for the purpose of Herdwatch. You can put in a management number or the purpose of the animal as well. So if I know I'm keeping this calf for dairy down the line, I can say it's purpose to dairy. So when I'm happy with the details, I can press save. It'll prompt you whether you want to register the calf now, or you have the option to select not now, you can come back to it in a while. So I'm not going to register this calf now, but I'll create the registration. So now I can look at this animal's profile and look at the overview and make sure I've selected the correct dam and sire. So say if you're creating a few calves at one time, you can send them off on our complete plan, you can send them off in one batch. So on the essentials plan, you can register the calf individually, but on the complete, if you click into compliance, calves register, we have the batch register option here. So if I press batch register, I can select the number of calves I want to register and send. It'll then ask you for your Herdwatch PIN, which is a 6-digit PIN for security purposes on your Herdwatch account when you're communicating with the ministry, say on movements and registrations. So once I press send here, it'll ask me for my Herdwatch PIN. I put in my PIN, and then we'll send the registrations off to the department for you. Now, just to note, in Ireland, with the DNA scheme, there's a few changes with registration. So you register your calf as normal on Herdwatch, and we'll send your registration to the department. But you also need to send your sample to the labs for your BVD, obviously, and the DNA. But until the DNA sample is returned to the department, the animal is technically not considered in herd. So in the event that the calf isn't shown in the list, if there's a delay in your DNA, it's just because it's technically not considered in herd until the sample is returned. So if you do have a calf registration, or if you do have a calf registered and it's not shown in your herd profile here, just two ways you can find it. You go into your smart list and you're moved out. You temporarily show here till it's considered in herd, or else you can go into the dam itself and check under its progeny. And you'll find the calf in that list there. But once you've received the blue card for the calf will show in Herdwatch. Now, if there is any changes on the card, so if you recorded the incorrect dam or the correct sire on your registration, both from the DNA, they found the correct dam and sire, that'll be updated on your blue card. But ensure to contact us at Herdwatch. You can pop us a message through the message center here, and we'll be able to update the animal's profile for you. But look, if you do have any questions in regards to calf registration or in regards to registering with the DNA scheme, just give us a call or else pop us a message through the app. We'll be more than happy to help you.
Brilliant. Right. Okay, just to finish up, just to inform you on a few things. So I suppose each month we have a adventure podcast and Instagram takeover. So last month we had the adventure with Louise Crowley and her dairy farm in Limerick. We had a podcast with vet and dairy farmer Hazel Mullins, and the Instagram takeover was by dairy farmer Finn Walsh. So this month now, it's UK based. So we travelled over to Kelvin Fletcher in the UK. The podcast will be with Cami, also known as Sheep Game, and our Instagram takeover will be with Holly Atkinson, a dairy farmer in the UK as well. So the adventure will be coming, adventure podcast and Instagram takeover will all be towards the end of February. So there's something to look forward to, and they'll be on our website as well, on our social media. So do keep an eye out for them. Just also to remind you all, the Refer a Friends is going as always. It's €100 off your renewal price if you refer a friend. That form is also available on our website, herdwatch.com, where if you go into the rewards section of the website, you'll be able to see it there. So obviously, the more friends you refer that sign up, you get €100 per person you refer. So it's definitely worth checking out. Lastly, we have a giveaway that's running at the moment. It's a chance for one lucky winner to win a trip to the Royal Highland Show that's on this summer for 4 people. So you have a 2-night stay in Edinburgh and tickets to the Highland Show, as well as a €300 flight voucher. So basically, to take part in that, if you're an existing customer, a member of Herdwatch already, all you have to do is create a record in the app, whether it's a remedy or treatment, now that you know how to do them after today's webinar, or a calf registration. Just any record in the Herdwatch app will get you into this giveaway. And if you are not a member of Herdwatch, or if you're on the free plan, you just have to download the Herdwatch app and sign up using a valid herd number or holding number. So that's how you enter those. This is our website, so do be sure to check it out. There's a lot of help articles on there on member support. In our resource section is where you'll find our blog and our adventure and our podcast sections, as well as many other features in the app. It's worthwhile checking out. So that brings us to the end of today's webinar. We hope you all enjoyed. There's our numbers on the screen there if you ever want to get in touch. But the team here are very quick to reply to any messages they get in the app. So do pop in any messages or questions, or if you want to understand something a little bit further after today's webinar, do get in touch. But that's it for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Katie.
For your demo. And we will see you all again next month for another webinar.